Imagine waking up, walking to your closet, and using your right hand to pull on a pair of pants. But as you do, your left hand reaches down and aggressively tries to pull them off. You try to button a shirt with your right hand, and your left hand unbuttons it. You try to hug your spouse with one arm, and the other arm tries to push them away. You aren't possessed. You aren't losing your mind. This is a real medical condition, and it reveals a terrifying secret about human biology. There isn't one person inside your brain. There are two, and sometimes they disagree. To understand why this happens, we have to go back to 1962. A man known to medical history as patient WJ was suffering from severe, debilitating epilepsy. The electrical storms in his brain were out of control, firing back and forth between his left and right hemispheres. To save his life, neurosurgeons Roger Sperry and Michael Gazzaniga decided to do something unprecedented. They performed a corpus callosotomy. The corpus callosum is a thick cable of about 200 million nerve fibers that connects the left half of your brain to the right half. It's the bridge that allows the two sides to talk to each other. The surgeons took a scalpel and severed the bridge. They cut his brain perfectly in half. It worked. The seizures stopped. WJ could walk, talk, and eat. On the surface, he seemed completely normal. But when the doctors started running tests, they realized they hadn't just stopped the seizures. By cutting the communication line, they had split WJ into two separate people, living in the same body. Here is the most important quirk of human anatomy. Your brain is cross-wired. Your left hemisphere controls the right side of your body, and your right hemisphere controls the left side of your body. But the labor is also divided. For almost everyone, the left hemisphere contains the language centers. It is the half that knows how to speak, write, and process words. The right hemisphere is mute. It cannot speak, but it can recognize faces, understand spatial relationships, and make decisions. When the bridge was cut in patient WJ, the two halves could no longer share information. The researchers set up a screen. They flashed the word apple to WJ's right eye, which sends data only to the speaking left brain. They asked, "What did you see?" WJ said, "An apple." Then they flashed the word spoon to his left eye, which sends data only to the mute right brain. They asked, "What did you see?" WJ's speaking left brain replied, "I didn't see anything." But then the researchers placed a pile of objects behind a curtain. They asked WJ to reach out with his left hand, the hand controlled by the mute right brain. Without hesitating, the left hand reached past the keys, past the pencils, grabbed the spoon, and held it up. The right brain saw the word. It understood the word. It commanded the hand to grab the object. It is fully conscious. It just couldn't tell the mouth to speak. This is where things get deeply unsettling. If there are two conscious minds inside the skull, what happens when the silent right brain does something and the speaking left brain doesn't know why? In another experiment, researchers flashed the command "walk" to a patient's right brain. The patient stood up and started walking out of the room. The researchers asked the patient's speaking left brain, "Why are you walking?" The left brain had no idea. It didn't see the command. But it didn't say, "I don't know," or "my legs moved on their own." Instead, the left brain instantly made up a lie. The patient said, "Oh, I'm going to get a Coke from the house." Gazzaniga called the left brain the interpreter. Its job is to construct a narrative that makes sense of your actions. When the right brain initiates an action, the left brain observes it and immediately invents a logical reason for why we did it, completely convinced that it made the decision. Every time you hear the inner monologue in your head saying, "I decided to do this," or "I feel this way because," there is a very real chance that the left brain is just making up a story to explain a decision the right brain already made in the dark. Usually, the left brain storytelling keeps the peace, but sometimes the silent half rebels. This brings us back to alien hand syndrome. In some split brain patients, the right hemisphere becomes frustrated. It has its own desires, its own opinions, and it realizes it can control the left arm to express them. Patients reported going to the grocery store. The right hand would reach for a healthy apple. The left hand would slap the right hand away and grab a candy bar. One patient reported that his right hand tried to hit his wife. and his left hand had to shoot up and grab his own wrist to physically restrain himself. Two consciousnesses, one body, fighting for control over the steering wheel. The speaking half of the brain looks at the left hand and views it as an alien entity. It feels like demonic possession, but it's not a demon. It's just the other half of you, finally getting a chance to act on its own. Everything you consider to be you, your personality, your memories, the voice reading these words in your head, is mostly the left hemisphere, the storyteller, the one with the microphone. But sitting right next to it, connected by that thick cable of nerves, is a silent partner. It perceives the world, it feels emotions, it makes decisions. It is fully self-aware, but it has no voice. In a normal, healthy brain, the two halves share information so rapidly that it creates the seamless illusion of a single unified person. But the split brain experiments prove that the illusion is exactly that, an illusion, a biological magic trick. You are a collective, a partnership, and it forces you to ask a terrifying question. When you sit in silence, alone in a room, lost in your own thoughts, who is actually listening? Is it the voice speaking in your head? Or is it the silent prisoner sitting in the dark, watching the world through your left eye, waiting for its turn to move the hand?